What's up, guys? Lewi Gault here in Denver, Colorado. How's it going? I hope you guys are well. Today, I'm super excited to be chatting with you because we're going to be talking about one of the most important and most exciting things that I teach the agents that I work with. And it's about time management, and not just like, oh, this is how you work a calendar. This is like time management to function through being a realtor, because you know what it's like. It's a crazy world that we operate inside of, and time can condense and suck us all in. And I was a victim of that. And I'll tell you just about a backstory in a little minute here. But I just want to talk about what we're going to do. This is going to be part one of a three-part series. And we're going to be talking about three concepts that I really use in terms of time management for productivity. Concept one, what we're going to be looking at in this lesson, is how to expand time. Concept two for our second lesson is going to be how to block time. And then concept three in our third lesson is going to be how to protect time. And through this as well, I'm going to be giving you tools and resources that you can use for free to help you through all of these things. So just before we get started, I want to give you a bit of a background who I am. I've been in real estate for about 6 years. Before that, I was in the music industry. Before that, I was in the fitness industry. So I didn't really have much time management skills under my belt. When I got into real estate, my whole goal was to just like do as much as humanly possible to get financial freedom for my family. I have a wife, I have 2 young kids, and all that good stuff. And the brokerage that I started with, the team that I started with, that was really the thing. It was like, hey, if you want to be successful, you have to work from sun up to sundown, and you have to be all in on real estate. And I fell into that trap. And unfortunately for me, it was just chaos, and I couldn't see it coming. And all of a sudden, about 2.5 years into me being in the business, I realized that I was doing so much real estate that I had lost track of how to be a father, how to be a husband, and all this good stuff. And it really, I woke up one night in a panic attack, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure this out, because I didn't get into real estate to get divorced. I got into real estate to help my family grow into what our plans were for the future. So I'm a multiple top producer. I've been doing this for, like I said, about 6 years. I've been at multiple different brokerages. I've always performed highly at each one. I coach agents now on how to build out systems, processes, and how to scale with their time management skills. As for me personally, like I said, I'm a dedicated husband, full-time father. I'm a business owner, a competitive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete and coach. I'm a content creator. I teach 100 agents or more every single week on these things. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I'm a musician. All these things. Why am I saying all this? It's not to big myself up. It's to relate. We're all super busy. Real estate isn't my one identity. I have all of these other ones that are more important than this. And that should be the same for you too. And that's what I really want to dig into today. So let's jump in, guys. I want to make sure that I can give you all the value of humanly possible inside of this lesson. So expanding time. Why is this even important? Well, time is obviously the most precious resource available. It can't be bought. You can restock money, you can build other things, but you cannot get time back. It's impossible. And every single waking second, and minute, and hour that goes by is something that you'll never be able to get back. So, as you know, if you're a busy parent like myself, or if you have a lot of things going on, your time condenses. And sometimes you can get through the whole day and be like, man, where did the time go? I didn't even get to like half of the stuff that I should have. I feel guilty about my business now. This is not good. So how are we going to expand it? What you do with your time in the present defines what you will be able to do with it in the future. So it's a big part of what I try to do with the time I have allocated, how to expand it and get more out of that time and wring the towel of time and get as much as humanly possible. So we absolutely own all of our time. And this is one of the big things that I think was a big one for me: personal accountability of your time spent. At any given moment, you're doing what you most want to be doing. I'm going to say that again. At any given moment, you're doing what you most want to be doing. And you may be like, well, that's not true, because I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, no, you're choosing to do these things. You can also outsource things, and we're going to get to that. But I want you just to be aware of, even the time you're spending right now watching this. This is what you most want to be doing right now, because you think this is going to give you value. Hopefully it does. But you've got to think about your day as you go along. The things that you're doing are the things that you really value. So if that means scrolling on social media, you might want to rethink that. So your time is entirely within your own control. If you don't have the time to do something, that thing is not a priority. You're always in control, and let that empower you with the choices you make throughout the day. One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite people, Muhammad Ali, was that, he said, I hated every single minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. Now, this is a big thing because the time he was spending was the most important time he could in training. It wasn't great. He didn't love it. He wasn't like having the best time of his life, but he knew if he did the dedicated, focused work in that time, he would live the rest of his life as a champion. And I think for realtors, we can really take a lesson from that a lot of the time we want to do the easy stuff, like get on social media, do different things, go and meet lenders for lunch, all these things. But we're avoiding the focused work that you have to do to build the foundation of your business. And if you don't build that foundation, you can't live the rest of your life living off of the fruits of your labor. So, one of the big things, and I'm going to pull up an image for this right now, is the Eisenhower Matrix. This is one of the ways that I really look at how I manage my time and the decisions I make, and how I really look at expanding the time that I use. So let me pull up an image right here. So you can see that we have, let me just zoom out a minute. You have 4 boxes here. If you've never seen this before, it's a really important lesson to do. And what I like to do really is look at what things are not important in my life and what things I'm spending time on that I really shouldn't be. So this is a lesson that you can do. You might even want to pause the video right now and just write everything down here. We're going to look at these 4 different boxes here. So box 1 right here is tasks that are important and urgent. So anything important and urgent that only you can do. The next box over here is tasks that are important and not urgent. The next box here is not important and urgent. And then the last box over here is not important and not urgent. And the reason I think that's a super important thing to do is because our time can't be expanded because of the amount of tasks that we put on ourselves to do. And there's a lot of things that just don't need doing in your business. We're wasting our time on a ton of stuff. So I eliminate a lot of things from my business using this one thing. So let's just look at it in a real estate sense here. So what are things that are not important and not urgent? Well, here's 2. Social media, scrolling on social media, going through it and looking at other realtors' posts and other things like that. You're making an excuse saying, well, I'm doing some research. That's not important to your business whatsoever. The next one I put in here is most meetings. I hate meetings because they're a waste of time. You know they are. I know they are. We should all just be honest with ourselves. So most meetings in here, I don't attend. Okay, let's move over here to urgent but not important. So with this, I would say urgent but not important are things like MLS input, contracts, video editing, things that are not important for me to be doing personally, but they are urgent. So if I have a listing and I need it to be inputted on the MLS, or I need it to get contracts signed, I don't have to be doing that. I can get a transaction coordinator to make sure they're taking care of all of that. And then for me, it's not important that I do it. See, I only try and do the things that only I can humanly possibly do. Anything else, I try and outsource. So you got to think about what are these things in here that you can delegate out of your business, because that's going to free up and expand a lot of your time. Okay, let's look up here, top right, important and not urgent. These are really things, honestly, that you can only decide about your business, because we might all run different businesses a little different way, which is totally fine. But you have to figure out what are the things that are important but not urgent. Can you do them in a couple of days' time? Can you do this next week? Can you put it off for a little bit, or do you have to do it right now? Only you can decide that. And then let's look at important and urgent. A few things here: speaking to clients in person, on the phone, or whatever. You're the only one that can do that for your business to build those relationships. Deep work where you're focused on working on, it might be branding, it might be a new, thing you're building out for your business. Any client work, again, that's like personal, you can be the only one that does that. And marketing and advertising, for me, I put that one on there because I don't like to leave a lot of things to get my message out. I like to be the one who gets my message out. But the point here, guys, is to go through this and really think about, okay, let's look at my calendar for last week. What are all the things I did? put them into one of these boxes, and then going forward, you can be like, okay, I need to cut that out. I need to delegate this. And do I need to do this? So very, very cool exercise to be doing. It's something that I focus on a lot. So very, very cool. So I'm going to stop sharing that picture there. And, what I want to jump into now is we live in a time of like social media, and the reason that I don't get on social media, and I hate it, I post a lot on social media, but I'm never on there. I post and ghost. The reason is because you have a lot of fakers out there, and everyone's just living their best life on social media. You're seeing the polished version of everyone on there. And a lot of people fall into the category of like hustle mode or beast mode or can't stop, won't stop, or 24/7. And for me, that's just nonsense, absolute nonsense. There's a big difference in being busy and being productive. They're two very different things. When I used to work from sun up to sundown, I was busy for sure because I would fill my day up, but my productivity was probably this much of the whole day. Now, the way I work now, I still work about this much of the day, but the productivity is an overload. And I've really taught myself how to do that. So I think, especially if you're a newer agent getting into this business, don't think that busy is some kind of badge of honor. You don't have to be, up at 4 a.m. and I'm going to crush the day. And it's just, it's one of these things that we tell ourselves, and it's really not healthy for anyone, to be quite honest. Busy is like squeezing work into every single minute, and you all know that you can't concentrate for that long. Your brain is not evolved to be concentrating on specific tasks all day long. Research has shown we have about 3 to 4 hours of focused, dedicated work that our brain can actually go in hard on, and then the rest of the day it's like admin stuff. So I really try and schedule my day, and when we get to lesson number 2, when we jump into the calendar, I'll show you that how I schedule my day with productive stuff near the top and then admin stuff near the bottom of the day. So it's one of these big things that I just don't buy into, filling your calendar from sun up to sundown anymore. It doesn't work for me. The biggest thing that works for me, guys, and the biggest thing that changed and how to expand time, which is what we're talking about for me, is using a tool called the Power List. Now, I got this from Andy Frisella. I'm in his mentorship group. You might have heard of him. He's worth $1 billion. He's built businesses. Insane guy. But he uses a system called the Power List. And what it is instead of filling up his calendar with like tons of different things, he puts a list together of 5 things for the day. 5 things, only 5 things. And these are things that are going to be needle moving for getting him to where he wants to go. And this is the way that I run my every single day business now. It's all about the Power List. And, these don't all have to be business related. They can also be, related in other aspects. For me, I focus my life on four pillars: body, taking care of myself, my health; being, spirituality, meditation, whatever that looks like; balance, which is my family; and business, which is obviously my real estate. If one of them crumbles, the other 3 crumble. It's like the legs on a chair. If one of them isn't doing well, the other are just kind of all over the place. So focusing on these things and making sure that tasks that I set for myself during the day go towards my entire goal, not just my business one. Okay. Typically 3 to 4 of them are always business for me, and I work on something else, but that's besides the point. So think about this, guys. If you're just trying to like go about your day regular and like scheduling your calendar and just trying to work and overload, like really, if you're totally honest with yourself, ruthlessly honest, how much stuff do you actually get done? If you go to the office and sit there all day in front of the computer and open all these different tabs, and you're always got the email open trying to respond to things, how many productive things are you actually getting done? Needle moving things for your business? It's not that many, if you're completely honest. It's just you and me here. But if you were to say, okay, every single day, I'm going to crush 5 tasks, and they're just like little things that can move your business along, 5 tasks, and that's me one a day. If you can do that every month, like 5 days a week for a month, that's 100 tasks that just went towards moving your business forward. If you do that every year, that's 1,200 tasks that just went into moving your business forward. Guys, if you stay on that track, you're going to accelerate past every single agent you know and you work with in a matter of a couple of years. And it's crazy. And what I want to do, just to finish off this particular lesson, is just share with you real quick the template that I use, and this is going to be available for you too, guys. It's completely free. I built this out that you can use. I have done an entire YouTube video tutorial on this, which I'll put a link for you as well. But I just want to show you real quick on how you can put this into effect in your own business. So let me pull this up right here. Power list, boom, there we go. So this is what it looks like, guys. I have my quarterly goals over here on the left, and then you're going to break down your goals into each day, and you can move these up and down. You can move them to completed, and you can move them all around to different days. So guys, I'm going to put a link to the video of how to exactly use this. It's super easy, and you don't need this. You can do it on paper, whatever you want. But let me pull this down. But it's a very powerful tool that I use. It's changed my business. It's changed a lot of people's business that I've shown it to. So the power list is huge, guys. So this is how I go about expanding my time. I really cognizantly think of the tasks I'm doing for the day. If that task can be done by someone else, it gets done by someone else. If that task is a waste of time and not productive, it gets cut. I only do the things that are productive, and I pick 5 things for every single day that are going to move my business forward and my goals forward to get to the next year. And that is how I expand time. So that's lesson number 1, guys. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I'm always open for communication and questions. In our lesson number 2, we're going to jump into the concept now of how to block time, which is super important too. So lesson number 1, that's how to expand time. See you on the next one.